Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktim Chadatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Madasya Sishyam Sri Shankaracharya Matasya Padma Padam cha Hastamalakam cha Shishyam Tam Todakam Vartika Manyan Asmat Gurun Santatamanatosmi Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padam Bhujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmani. Verse number 162. 2, right? Vasananam parokshatva sarvajñatvam nahikshate sarvabuddhishita društva vasanasvanumiyatam. Vasanas are those which are the cause of our thoughts, and vasanas also, how many of them are there in us is not even comprehensible. Only when they come to manifest, we come to know that we have such a desire, such a intent, such a likes or dislike. So even our own vasana is paroksha until they become pratyaksha. So in general, vasananam parokshatvat. Also, much less we know somebody else's vasana unless they manifest in the form of action or words. So in general, vasananam parokshatvat, the one who is able to make the vasana into thoughts, one who manifests the vasanas into desires and thoughts, is a consciousness, Paramatma, who resides in the Karan Sharira of all of us. Because without that consciousness, we cannot have manifestation of that vasana in the form of desire. If buddhi itself is conscious, obviously it is a cause of that buddhi must also be conscious only. Yata karanam tada karyam. Karana, anuhita eva, anusaranadeva karya. Anusaranam means following. An effect is none other than that which follows closely the qualities of the karana. Karya is to express the nature of karana. Yati buddhihi chetanam chet. Buddhi itself is chetanam, conscious. Obviously, buddhehe karanam api chetana swarupameva. Tasmat karana shariram chetana swarupam. And tasmin karana sharire yadasti chaitanya rupene yadasti tat namaha tasya namaha ishvaraha. Kshetrajna yadi abhidiyate. So this kshetrajnaha ishvaraha na pratyakshena jnatum shakyate kasmat vasanaha api na pratyakshena jnatum shakyate. Even the vasanas are also not available for us to directly perceive. Therefore, aparoksha. So, therefore, vasananam parokshatvat, or which is called, they are all paroksha or na pratyaksha. Parokshatvat, sarvajñatvam, ishvarasya sarvajñatvam, nahi ikshate, na parokshena avagamyate, pratyakshena avagamyate. Ishvarasya sarvajñatvam na pratyakshena avagamyate. The nature of Ishvara Sarvajna also cannot be directly perceivable to us. Therefore, anumiyatam, last the word, anumiyatam, may it be inferred, because anumana is also considered as a pramana. So, yedi, that which is not possible for pratyaksha rupena, whatever is not available through pratyaksha pramana, it has to be understood through anumana pramana. That's why these pramanas are important. Means, indirect means. How sarva buddhishu tad drishtva. Sarva buddhishu chetana rupena tad drishtva. In all the various buddhis, in individual or sarva buddhishu, you can put as sarva vrittishu. Pratibodha vididam vadam amritatvam hi vindade atmana vindade vedyam vidyaya vindade amritam. Pratibodham bodham prati vindate nyayate. Yad nyayate prati vrittishu. That which is known through every thought as I am. Sarva buddhishu tad drishtva. Therefore, vasana swanumiyatam. Vasanasu anumiyatam. Vasanasu among the vasanas, that which is remaining as consciousness is sarvajnaha eva. Katam Ishvaraha vasanana madhye tishtva sarva vasanan janati. He knows all the vasanas that are there. Manifestation may be only few that happens in our buddhi, but the one who is residing in Karana Sharira, he is aware of all the vasanas. Not only our vasanas, every being, all the beings. So that's why he is called Karana Sharira, Samashti Karana Sharira Abhimani Chaitanyam Ishvaraha iti uchyate. So he, the Ishvara, is the Karana Sharira Abhimani. Of all the living beings, their vasanas. Therefore, he is fully aware of Vedaham samadhitani vartamanani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. Nobody knows me, but I know whatever is gone by in your life, O Arjuna, whatever is already impressed as vasanas in your head, whatever is going to come in the future as your action, because that vasanas are there. Whatever is now happening, why are you doing? That vasana also. I know it. You don't know. You don't know, that's very good for you. That will be a problem. Now, next one is, having explained Sarveshwaratva, which we have seen, because without whose command nothing will happen in this world. Why? Srishtikarta saha. Saha Srishtikarta tasmat Ishvaraha. That's why in the Mandukya Upanishad, we saw that particular verse, I think I have already quoted. Yas sarveshu bhuteshu tishtan sarvebhyo bhutebhyo pyandaraha. We'll see that in the next verse, it will be again pointed out. Now he is going to talk about the Antaryami. So in the Mandukya Upanishad, it is already given that what is the nature of Ishvara, which is Sarveshvaraha, Sarvantaryami, Sarvajnaha, Ityadi. So I think I have already pointed out that particular verse to you all, which is found in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, but also here in the Mandukya, very clearly it is said in the Upanishad itself. Esha Sarveshvaraha, Sarvajnaha, Esha Antaryami, Esha Yonihi, Sarvasya Prabhavapyavyohi Bhutanam. That is said in Mandukya Upanishad. Alright, so now having explained Sarveshwaratva, Sarvajnatva, Sarvam Janati, Katam Sarvam Janati, Vasananam Madhye Yaha Sarvata Sarvabhuteshu Tishtati, Saha Sarvas Vasanan Janati, therefore he is Sarvam Janati. He knows all that, so he is Sarvajnaha. Now Antaryami is taken. Vijnanamaya Mukyeshu Kosheshvanyatra Chaivahi Andastishtanyamayati Tenantaryamitam Brajet Vijnanamaya Mukyeshu Kosheshvanyatra Chaivahi Andastishtanyamayati Tenantaryamitam Brajet. Vijnanamaya Mukyeshu, Vijnanamaya Adishu. Mukya here means starting from, beginning with, Arambha. So starting from Vijnanamaya Kosha, meaning Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Annamaya. Among the Panchakoshas, Vijnanamaya onwards, Kosheshu, Anyatra cha evahi antastishtan. In all these koshas also, Ishvaraha stays. Jiva rupena tishtati. So, our body is alive. We can feel the life in the body. Obviously, it's expression of prana. Our senses are working. I'm able to see, walk, talk, move about. All these are all possible because of pranaha sarva indriyeshu chalati. Every sense organ is activated by prana. Pranaha manasa. Mind is that which is actually direct control of the, we have seen that, direct control of the senses are by the mind. In Dakshinamurti Sutram, that discussion came. Whether the mind or the prana which is the master. Actually, it is mind. Mind is the one with the help of prana is able to activate the senses. If the mind decided not to see, prana cannot do anything. Right? If I don't want to speak, it is a prana that doesn't make me speak. It's the mind that makes me speak. Prana is used for the power. So manasaha api sthulam, manasaha api sukshmam buddhi. Vijnanamaya kosha. Now in the Vijnanamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha and Prana and Annamaya kosheshu yahas jiva rupena tishtati Ishvaraha. Parantu in the Karana Sharira, saha na jivaha. Katam. The individuality, the ego that we experience in all other koshas are not found in Karana Sharira. Because Karana Sharira, when do we experience Sushuptam? Yes, we experience means that's where we stay. So it is said in the Upanishad, Yatra Suptau na kanchana kamam kamayate na kanchanam 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 pashyati tat sushuptam. In the state of sleep, do you desire anything? Do you want anything? Do you do anything? Do you think anything? Kyun? The one which is wanting and doing and thinking and hating and loving is absent. And that one which wants and does and speaks and arrogates and decides and wants or desires or hates is Jiva. And the Jivatva is absent, as though withdrawn in the state of sleep. Therefore, Sushuptau Jivaha na Jivaha. Na kinchana kamayam kamayate na kanchana swapnam pashyati na vadati na grihnati na pashyati na chalati. Not wanting to go, wanting to talk, wanting to desire, none of those things are there. So that is why he said here, Vijnanamaya Mukyeshu, leaving aside Karana Sharira or Vijnanam, Anandamaya Kosha, leaving aside there, it is not a Jiva's operation. All the Jivatvam called ego, the individuality, wakes up the moment you wake up. As soon as we wake up in the waking state, right? Me starts. And even physical hunger, etc., when do you experience? In deep sleep, you don't. You sleep in state in which you don't feel hungry, you don't thirsty, you don't feel the individuality, you do not like to engage in anything. None of those functions are there as an individual. Therefore, ahankara is not actively present there in the state of sleep. And here, what is the jiva then? The jiva is a derived consciousness, and the derived consciousness is none other than the consciousness itself. And individually he functions like a light in none other than the individual presence of the current, conditioned presence of the current, expressing through the apparatus. So too, we as the Ishvara alone, Jiva Rupena, Vijnanamaya Kosheshu, as a Vijnana Atma, Manomaya Kosheshu, as Manaha, Pranamaya Kosheshu, as Pranaha, Sharireshu, Annamayeshu, Annamaya Kosheshu, as a Brahmanaha, Kshatriyaha, Shudraha, Vaishyaha, then Purushaha, Stri, Ityadi. So, Vijnanamaya Mukyeshu Kosheshu Anyatra Sarje Kosheshu Anyatra Echa. Also in other koshas, from Vijnanamaya Kosheshu, all other things also, meaning Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, all koshas. Antastishtan, Antahastishtan. Antastishtan means what? Staying within. Within means as the propeller of those activities. Yamayati. Yam is to control. M is to propel. Yamayati. Tena. Therefore, tasmat. Antaryamitam vrajet. Antaryamita meaning state of being an inner controller. Antaryamitvam is neuter. Antaryamita, the state of being an antaryami, vrajet. He comes to manifest himself as antaryamin. So what that does mean here? Antaha tishtan. Antaha tishtan means staying within, not as an external world alone. In the external world also he is there, as we have seen. As a Sarveshwaraha, he is the one who is controlling all the one which he created. Sun, the moon, the water, fire, air, earth, etc. Antar, Bahischa. Outside, inside. Inside as Antaryami. Outside as Ishvaraha, who is controlling all other things. So, therefore, Antastishtan, staying within. Within means what? Yamayati. Antar Bahischa tat sarvam. Vyapya Narayana Stitaha Antaha Antaryami Rupena Bahihi Sarvayami Sarvam Yamayati. He is the one who controls everything from outside as well. Now, outside, when you say, even in the tree is Antaryami. For us, it is outside. For the tree, it is not outside. We say sun, is it outside or inside? For the sun, it is inside. For us, when we look at it, sun is outside, right? For me, you are outside. But where is he? In you is an Antaryami. In me, it is an Antaryami. So in all of them, he is staying inside, and because we see it as other than ourselves, it looks like you are doing it. She is doing it. Tree is doing it. Bird is doing it. Sun is doing it. But in all of them, he is Antaryami. He is the one who is Jiva Rupena Tishtan Yamayati. So, staying as the inner controller, as Jiva, from Vijnanamaya Kosha onwards. So, that is why it is said, Yaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu Tishtan Sarvebhyo Bhutebhyo Antaraha. This is said in Brihadaranya Upanishad very clearly. And there, Yaha Yam Sarvani Bhutani na Viduhu. None of them come to know him. Yas Sarvani Bhutanyantaraha Yamayati Yesha Sa Atma Antaryami Amritaha Ityadi Bhutam Madhyatmam. So the whole world is his body. See, for us, this is the body. And every part of the body is controlled by the presence of consciousness. In the same way, if you take the entire world as his body, the earth itself is his body, of course, fire, water. So in the Brihadaranya Upanishad, there is a discussion about fire being the body, staying in the fire as its Antaryami doing it. Water as his body, staying in the water as a Antaryami, he does that. Vayu as his body, and then finally he says Sarva Vyapi, Sarva, and everything is Tasya Deha Sharirameva. And in that Shariram, he is the Antaryami who works all. So in this way, the Upanishad verse which talked about Esha Sarveshwaraha Sarvajnaha Sarvantaryami is explained. Now, specifically, in the next verse, he says, Buddho Vittishtannantaro Buddho Tishtannantarosya Diyani Shasya Dhivapuhu Diyamantaryamayati Ityevam Vedena Goshitam Buddho Tishtannantarosya Diyani Kshasya Divapuhu Diyam Antaryamadityevam Vedena Goshitam. What is the tune? I forgot now. Buddho Tishtannantarosya Diyani Kshasya Divapuhu Diyamantaryamayati Ityevam Vedena Goshitam. Vedena Goshitam. Vedena Shrutya. Shruti is very clearly as Goshitam, Katitam, declared. Buddho Tishtan Antaraha. Antaraha Tishtan. Buddho Antaraha Tishtan. Sitting in the Buddhi. See, we have seen that anything that is created in this world, there must be at least two things. One is called Upadana Karana and Nimitta. What is the Upadana Karana for the entire creation? Obviously, that's come from the Creator himself. So, Upadana Karana of the whole world is he himself, and therefore, Buddho Tishtan Antaraha, which is the most interior, most subtle. Antaraha means that which is subtler than what is externally manifest. Like if you say, I am breathing, you don't see unless, you come closer to me, you will see that I am breathing. So breathing is inside happening to me. It is, it's interior to the body. Body you see, prana is antaryami of the body. Right? Antaryami means that which is in within that. Then prana you see, manaha anta. Manaha buddhi anta. So, diya buddho tishtan antaraha asyaha diyaha diya anikshatsya di vapuhu. The one which is abiding in the intellect and having body as buddhi as his body. As you see, that in everything where the antaryami is there, what he operates from is his body. So for buddhi, he is antaryami, therefore that antaryami for him, buddhi is his body, through which he is expressing there. So this is how Vedena Goshitam. And as I explained to you here in the Pradarni Upanishad, that is the point he makes it. Everything through which he operates, the external thing through what we see is his body. But one who is operating from within is antaryami. So, diyam antaryamayati, he is operating from the within of the buddhi. So, upadana karanena sarvavyapi ishvaraha. Antaryami rupena, what is he? Upadana karanena sarvavyapi. Antaryami rupena nimitta. So without nimittam, the upadana by itself, material would not come to manifest or can do anything. Without the potter, mud cannot become pot. Without the weaver, the thread will not become a cloth. So, upadana karana is there, but at the same time, the antaryami is none other than the nimitta karana. So here, diyam antar yamayati means nimitta karana rupena yamayati. Now, both the upadana karana, that material cause, and the nimitta karan, instrumental cause, this is explained in Mundaka Upanishad, yator nana vihisrajate griknadecha. Just like the spider web you see, but who is the Spider-Man? It does not use any other material. It uses its own saliva. But it uses its saliva and not decided by or constructed by somebody else. It itself constructs it. So it is both upadana karana and nimitta karana. That is why that example is very important. Both Ishvaraha is not only upadana karana, he is a nimitta karana also at the same time. Just like the spider out of its own saliva creates that web, World Wide Web. So who creates it out of what? It creates out of its own saliva, that is a material cause, and he himself is the creator of the net also. In the same way here, diyam antaryamayati buddhau tishtan vijnanamaya kosheshu tishtan. That is the reason why he started from Vijnanamaya Kosha onwards, because from there only we can come to manifest our individuality, and that individuality that we have as a jiva is none other than Ishvara himself operating as a jiva here. In the Vijnanamaya Kosha as buddhi, in the manaha as thought, in the prana as prana, and in the body as the individual expression. So that's why it is Vedena Goshitam Brihadaranyeshu Brihadaranyashrudau Goshitam Antaryami iti evam. Now this is little hard to understand. Now he is going to give some drishtanta, with which we will make it very clear. Tantu pate stito yadvat upadanataya tata sarvopadana rupatvat sarvatrayam avastitah tantupate stito yadvat upadanataya tatha sarvopadana rupatvat sarvatrayam avastitah. Pate tantuhu stitah. Pate, in the cloth, tantuhu, thread, is there. Yet, in what form it is there? Upadanataya stitah. Without the thread, there cannot be cloth. So, what is the material cause for the cloth? We are all wearing the cloth, all right. The cloth is nothing but the woven thread, warp and woof. So, without the thread, which is the upadana karana, the cloth cannot be. Nowadays, you cannot even see that very clearly. We see the cloth, but we do not see the individual threads which are so beautifully or so well knit. So here also, pate tantuhu stitaha yad upadanataya. Yad upadanataya stitaha. What it means is, pataha karyam tantuhu karanam. Pataha or cloth is the effect, and the thread is the karana. Right? That is very clear. Without that karana, there cannot be karya. Without the tantu or the thread, there cannot be cloth. That is very clear. In other words, tantu is the subtler part or subtler nature than the cloth. The cloth you see, unless you think, you will not see the thread. Okay. What is thread? Thread is cotton fiber. If it is cotton, let us say take it as a cotton cloth. So, sarvopadana rupatvat, now that will come a little later, sarvopadana karanatvat. Now, what is Bhagavan Ishvara here? Because he being the creator of this universe, he must be like that thread which is for the cloth. He himself is the warp and woof of the entire creation. That way Bhagavan said, Sutre Manigana Iva. Just like all the things are connected. Just on the cloth also, entire cloth is none other than the Tantu Vibhuti. It is Vibhuti of the Tantu only. It is a manifestation of the glory of the thread alone. Thus, in the same way, Bhagavat Vibhuti eva Vishwam. It is his manifestation as Upadana Karana. So, Sarva Upadana Rupatvat, what is as Sarvatra Ayam Avastita. Sarvatra Ishvaraha Avastiraha. He is the one who remains as the Upadana Karana of the entire universe. Therefore, he is present in the entire universe. Every atom particle is present. Because in every part of the cloth, there must be the presence of the thread. In the same way, Bhagavan is present in every part, every atom of this universe as Upadana Karana. So that is the reason why the example is given, just like the cloth and the thread. Now, when we start looking at a cloth, obviously in a grosser perception, we cannot see the thread. But when we inquire or we start to take apart, then you see the cloth is none other than nothing but individual threads that are coming out. And now you take the thread and start looking into it. What do you see there? Cotton fiber, right? It is cotton, which is, if you those who have gone to the cotton mills or something, you'll see the cotton is manufactured. It is cultivated in the, so that cotton is taken out, and then they have been, but they do the, what do you call that? Spinning. And then slowly out of the spinning, they make out of the fiber of the cotton, they make, in fact, when I was growing up back in Coimbatore, there are a lot of spinning mills. This is called Yantra Arudan. Maya Yantru Arudan. It goes spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning everywhere. And people who had, most of the people who did not have the good health there in Coimbatore, they had bronchitis. Because the air had cotton fiber all the time. Every day when we broom the house, this much of cotton we get. It is not in one place. It is all over the place. And when we do the brooming, at the end of the day, you will find this much of cotton. It is there in the air everywhere in the city. Think about it, if it goes inside. So, the cotton fiber is so thin in the air, and that particular atmosphere in Coimbatore, the weather, because of the Nilgiri mountains, the cool air is necessary for them to spin. That is why it is located there. The particular moisture, less moisture it should be, it should not be much. In a moisturous condition, you cannot spin it. It will not spin. So you cannot have a moisture in the air, and it has to be a certain temperature. And in that certain temperature only, the cotton can be made into a thread. So here, if you start looking into the thread, you will find cotton fiber. So here that Drishtanta is further taken here. We'll see here. Patadapyantaras santuhu tantopyam shurantaraha antarastvasya vishranti yatra savanumīyatāṃ padādapyantaras santu tantopyamshurantaraha antarastvasya vishranti yatra savanumīyatāṃ. Santu is written or Tantu is written? Tantu. No. Yat patadapi antaraha Tantu, right? Here Santu is written, that's why I said Santu. Santu is written, that's why I said Tantu. I know, Tantu is later, but what I'm saying is in the verse, it is written Santu. Tantu. Yeah. So patad api, then the cloth, antaraha, is Tantu. As we have seen, that subtler than the cloth is the thread. In other words, thread is the karanam, pataha is the karya, effect. Now, tantoho api antaraha amshuhu. Amshuhu, fiber. Cotton fiber is subtler than the thread. In other words, cotton fiber is the karanam, tantuhu is the karya. Out of the cotton fiber only you make. Now, when you look at the thread, you cannot see the amshu or the fiber, you don't see it that easily. Unless you, under the microscope, you start looking at it. Even in this kind of cloth, it is so difficult. Some of the cotton clothes are, you can very clearly see the threads also. Then it is easy to take out one thread and look at what the thread is made of, and you will see the cotton fiber. So, that which is subtle is not easily comprehensible as much as the gross one. Cloth is more comprehensible than the thread. Thread is more comprehensible than the fiber. Antarastu asya amshoho, of that amshu of the fiber also there is a cause, which is the particles, cotton particles. The cotton particles together becomes the fiber, and the fiber coming together becomes the thread, and thread coming together is the cloth. Now, when you look at the cotton fiber, you will not see what is subtler than that. But don't you think it is to be there for the fiber to become fiber? Now, it is as much as asking you the question, you have seen your grandfather or grandmother, her grandmother and grandfather you have seen, your grandmother's grandmother, है ही नहीं, वो नहीं था, right? तो देखा भी नहीं तो इसमें नहीं है क्या? You have not seen, therefore they are not there. They will be very unhappy in the grave, turning around. What do you mean I was not there? Without me you will not be there. How many of you remember, think about your grandmother's grandmother? You have even idea how she would look? Huh? So, of course, there was no pictures therefore, and then there's no painting. So when you go to some of the places where they have the old paintings of the Maharajas and all those things, those times they were able to pay the money and get them painted, right? And that's why not a common man could do it. So it is said that when they painted these Maharajas, you saw most of them, you will see the old painting, up to chest only they would do. Up to bust only, most of them. Because it's less costly. If you want to put the whole body, it's more costly because the hands and legs are the most difficult to paint. Therefore, it costs hands and legs. The term came out of that only. No, I am serious about it. It costs hands and legs. Arm and the leg. It costs an arm and a leg. Meaning what? If you have to paint arm and the leg, it will cost you more. Interesting thing is when you see the Mughal, some of the Rajasthan, if you go there, if you look at the Mughal painting, only the side profile you will see. Because the front profile is difficult. Side profile is easy. One nose only. Sorry, one eye only you have to write. One side only. But if you have to go the front profile, it is more difficult. The side profile is easy. So that means what? What was the cause of even the fiber? Antaraha tu asya. When you keep going, Vishranti. Vishranti means you have to settle down. क्या है मुझे पता नहीं. पता नहीं means a प्रत्यक्ष रूपेण न दृश्यते. So what do you do? Vishranti yatra asau what? Anumiyatam. So further subtle and further subtle and further subtle, you have to only infer. You can only infer that its presence. Infer means not that it is not there. I cannot see it. Inferential, inference, pramana, anumana pramana is a pramana only. It is not to be misunderstood as it's a made up story. No, as much as your grandmother is not a made up story. Your grandmother is a reality, was a reality. And is a reality because of whom only you are here. You can only infer that I had a grandmother. You cannot say, I don't think I had a grandfather, grandmother. I just guess it is so. Guess. You want to guess? So it is anumiyatam. So patad api antaraha tantuhu. Tantoho api amshuhu antaraha. Antaraha tu asya amshoho. Amshoho antaraha. When you keep going in that direction or looking for what is the cause of it, Vishrant. You have to settle down there. What? Asau, yatra asau, anumiyatam. So, when you understand this, I can only physically see my presence, all right? Obviously, you have to understand, I have manaha, mind, because of which, when I see you, I smile. The smile you see, it is a mind that is smiling. You know that the mind is the one which has invoked the smile. So that mind has to be inferred. I don't see it. I cannot see your mind. Is it not anumana now? Is it not my grateful, joyful conclusion that you are happy looking at me? It is only anumana. I don't know whether you are really happy seeing at me. But I will think that you are happy. That's anumana pramana. He's very happy to see me. How do you know? He smiles. Okay, you think so. But I know what it is. Somebody would say then it will be a cold water on your enthusiasm. So anumiyatam. So you can only infer. So anumanena eva. Patadapi antaraha tantuhu. Tantoho api antaraha amshuhu. Antarastvasya vishrantihi. That is the vishranti also means limit. That is the very limit. Sima. Vishrantihi sima. The sima, the limit goes on. So beyond perception. Imperceptible. Ittadadreshyam, agrahyam, avarnam, achakshustotram, tadapanipadam, nityam, vibhum, sarvagatam, susukshmam, yadbhutayonim, paripashyanti dhiraha. Dhiraha paripashyanti. They can recognize its presence even though it is anumana pramana. Continuing here. Now, how much you can go? Dvitrayantaratva-kakshanam darshanepyayamantaraha na vikshate tato yuktihi Shrutibhyameva nirnayah Dvitriyantaratva kakshanam darshanepyayamantaraha na vikshate tato yuktihi Shrutibhyameva nirnayah. So, if you keep on moving from step 2 to step 3 to step 4, from step 1 cloth, step 2 is thread, step 3 is fiber, step 4 is particles. And how will you go? How much you go? Dvi, 3, antaratva kakshanam. Kakshanam, the steps. Then the steps you go, darshane api ayam antaraha. Even as you see them, being one which is subtler than the other one, previous one, not subject to perception. What is called antaraha na vikshyate. Darshane api ayam kakshanam darshane api. The second and third steps you can see, but further than that, antaraha na vikshyate tataha. Therefore, what is then to be used for understanding it? Yuktihi. The logic. Logic is what? Yadi karyam asti, tasya karanam api asti eva. Yadapi karanam na pratyaksham. Anumanena jnatum shakyate asti iti. By the inferential understanding, you know it is there. Iti yuktihi. This is the yukti. And supporting that is what? Shruti. So yukti shrutibhyam eva nirnayaha kartum shakyate. Nirnayaha bhavati. Nirnayaha conclusion or decision, ascertainment is possible. How? Yukti shrutibhyam. With the help of the yukti, the logic, as well as shruti, the statement of the shruti. So it is not to be misunderstood that because I do not see, therefore it is not there. We believe only in seeing is believing. Then obviously you don't have a brain. Because very clear. If you say only what I see, I believe, then I will definitely want. I have not seen your buddhi. I don't think you have one. So can I come to that point? Then? So here, now, when with which we have understood here that buddhau stitva buddhim yamayati. Now, sarvatra stitva sarvam yamayati. So, he the one who is remaining within in the subtlemost aspect and he is controlling everything means what? In everyone, in everything. Sarvatra sarveshu antastitva sarvam yamayati. Right? So that is therefore it is said Purusha evedagam sarvam yad bhutam yachabhavyam. That Purusha alone, that Ishvara alone, sarvam. What does it mean? Through every one of them, it is he who is operating as nimitta karan and also upadana karan. So both upadana and nimitta is there. Therefore, other than him, what else is there? So therefore, Purusha evedagam sarvam. Sahasra shirisha purusha. Sahasraksha sahasrapad. Sabhumim vishvado vritva. Ati atishtat dashangulam. Dashangulam ati atishtat means what? Imperceptible. Not that he's staying away. In our buddhi, it is further, far away from our comprehension. So here, continuing, Patarupena samsthanat. Patarupena samsthanat. Patastantorva puryata. Patastantorva puryata. Sarvarupena samsthanat. Sarvarupena samsthanat. Sarvamasya vapustata. Sarvamasya vapustata. Patarupena samsthanat. Patastantorva puryata. Sarvarupena samsthanat. Sarvamasya vapustata. Simple logic is what? Yatha, just as tantoho vapuhu pataha. Right? The body of the thread is what? Cloth. So when it is said body, it does not mean that there is a body and then inside that it is sitting. Again, come to this next level of understanding. Tantuhu eva pataha. When he says tantoho vapuhu, shariram pataha, it is an external expression of the thread. The cloth is expression of the thread. Does not mean there is a difference between tantu and pataha. External expression of the thread is the cloth. When it is said cloth is and then the thread is, no. Cloth is the thread and thread's body is the cloth. Thread itself is appearing in a massive form together as the cloth. In the same way, yata patarupena samsthanat pataha tantoho vapuhu. The cloth of the body of the thread is cloth. Tata sarvarupena samsthanat, being of the nature of everyone, the whole world is his body. Tasya sarvam vapuhu. The whole. That is why it said sarvadappani padam yat sarvadokshishiro mukam. Bhagavan also in 11th chapter word he say, सब आप में मेरे शरीर में देखो. देखिए नहीं, not outside me. Because what? This is the body of mine. Vishwameva mama bapuhu. This body of mine is this world. Now you see, where do you see? What do you see? Whatever you see only in here. Outside that you cannot see anything. Within my body alone you can see the whole thing. Whole thing in not only what you see now, what you will see in the future also. And you will be able to see what you would have missed seeing. And whatever you want to see also you will see in that. जो आप देखने चाहते हो वो भी वहां पे ही देखोगे. So शरीरम तस्य, the sarvam शरीरम तस्य, the whole thing is his body. Just like body of the thread is the cloth, body of the Sarveshwara is sarvam. So sarvarupena samsthanat, being the one which is the upadana nimitta karana of everything, sarvam asya ishvarasya vapuhu. The whole thing is his body only. One more we see here. Verse number 169. Tanto shankocha vistara chalanadau patastata avashyameva bhavati nasvatantyam pate manak. Tanto sankocha vistara chalanadau patastata avashyameva bhavati nasvatantyam pate manak. Now when it comes to inert things, we can come to comprehend in some way that according to the thread, so is the cloth. We can comprehend that easily as a drishtanta. So if sometimes, when you have buy a cloth and then when you put in the washing machine. Recently I was there in Pittsburgh and they gave me a nice beautiful t-shirt, long. So it was very nicely fitting, a little bigger than my size they gave me. Namaji, this is a cotton one, so when you put, what will happen. So I said, okay. So I came here, put it for washing, and then I kept it inside. I didn't use it. So yesterday I happened to take it out and try to put it. It won't even go into my head. Forget about the body. Sankocha. Sankocha means a contraction. So tantoho sankocha, when the thread has shrunk, I'll have to tell you one story before we conclude. So anyway, sankocha means the shrinking of the thread. Obviously, cloth also shrinks. And if sometimes this thread is expanding, obviously the cloth also expands. So tantoho sankocha vistara chalana ado. When the thread is moving, pataha tata. So tantoho sankochaha patasya sankochaha bhavati. Then similarly, tantoho vistarena patasya vistaram bhavati. Right? And edi tantuhu chalati, then cloth also pataha api chalati. So avashyameva bhavati pate swatantriam na manag. Na manag means not at all. So this has a very far-reaching consequence, which we'll take up in the next class. Sometime back, I was in Delhi, in somebody's house. A long time, I think about 10. So one lady came to me and said, Swami, in my friend's house, they have put a garland on Shirdi Sai Baba. They put the jasmine flower garland. It starts to grow. It was a summer time. So everybody went. So my host also said, let's go and see it. And I closed my eyes and said, what? How can it grow suddenly? Let me go and see it. So we went there. So Swamiji, they marked it. They put the garland, and then because they put the garland like this on the picture, and then marked that point. So Swamiji at 5 in the morning, this was the limit. Now see, it has become at 10 o'clock. It has become so long. So the person who went with me, Swamiji, see miracle. I said, I'll tell you, uncle. The thread that they have used is the what do you call that? The fiber of that, or even cotton thread only they used, and then wet there it was. So during the time, daytime, it has become warm. Obviously the thread started to expand. So obviously the mala has become bigger. I said, this is nothing happened. It is nothing but this thread has started to expand. That's all it is. चमत्कार के बिना नमस्कार नहीं मिलता है भाई. So when the tantu become sankocha, obviously the cloth also. So what is the relevance of that दृष्टांत here means कुछ जो होता है हमारे जीवन में वो उसके अनुसार से ही होता है. ईश्वर अनुग्रहादेव ईश्वर इच्छा रूपेण सर्वं भवति न स्वातंत्र्यम अस्ति. Obviously the next question is, then कहाँ है पुरुषार्थ? I think we'll come to the next class, we'll see. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkhamah bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.